quick start because I want to get right into it and do Furina story quest so that we can get to the wishing before I get too tired and go to bed tonight, like I did with the Archon quest yesterday / this morning because it was technically 2 a.m. And the annoying thing is that I accidentally I started on camera, as you might remember, may or may not remember. But then I tried to quit the game to not start it, and then it forced me to start it anyways. So I had to talk through the whole dialogue. Blah 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 blah. And now I got to the step of asking about Furina's disposition. But so the point of the story quest is the guy needs, you know, a singer, a dancer, or whatever to do his play, but he can't pay them. So we're like, wow, what about Furina? Maybe she can do it. But I'm like, what the heck? Furina's been in a traumatic experience, spoiler alert, for the past 500 years where she's had to act all the time, and she finally gets to be free of that, and we're immediately gonna go ask her if she wants to do it again. Like, yeah, maybe she'll be in, you know, maybe she'll be into it, but like, still, come on. At least we can ask about her disposition, I guess.
Did Catherine really give us the right address? She lives here?
Yes, she lives here.
Not that there's anything wrong with this place. It's just, a bit of a step down from the Palais Marmonia.
You know, it's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't in earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
Oh, get called out by Mon.
Okay, when did popping out of thin air become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni, so I went to grab a few more bags. I used to have a much wider range of choices when it came to food, but now I'm finding that simple, traditional home cooking can be quite delicious too.
She gets sick of macaroni every day?
Not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week, macaroni and bolognese the next.
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
Do all your own cooking now?
Rude.
Yes.
Questioning my cooking skills. The audacity. It's not like I have a very eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house. So I don't see how it's unusual that my meals are a little simpler now too. Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like la lettre faucilor or blubber profiteroles in no time if I felt so inclined.
Oh, and you're going to later
There
when
it
you
is.
make
You
your
don't
cake.
know how to cook.
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, what are you even doing here? I do hope you didn't come here just to ogle at my fall from grace. Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to clown around, then please be on your way. Shoo!
Sorry! We're sorry!
Shoo.
Please don't be mad!
How much you showing concern?
Exactly! What the traveler said! Paimon wasn't trying to make fun of you. Hang on a sec, you weren't exactly holding back either.
That's not important, Paimon.
My help? Well, maybe you're forgetting that I'm no longer the mighty Hydro Archon. I don't even have a vision, you know.
Don't worry, it's nothing that serious. It's just very specific, and you're the one with the power to help.
If not you, then no one.
Oh? Well, if that's the case, then fine. I'll spare you the lecture about your attitude just now. So tell me, what specifically makes this matter so specific? I see. I knew you couldn't have come all this way just to amuse yourselves at my expense. After all, I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine, well versed in all the various performing arts. A mere musical is well within my capabilities. But given the present circumstances, I'm afraid I must
And she
regretfully
declined.
decline your casting request.
How come? It sounds like this would be a breeze for you.
She has no money.
True. but I have made a decision to retire from the stage. Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent inhabiting that character has left an indelible mark on me. Centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. I'm not the same person I once was. Of course, that can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all over again. But at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any
Exactly as
new
I thought she would
roles.
say. She doesn't want to play any new roles.
Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Surely that's okay.
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross. If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself, which would be the same as not having a boundary in the first place. So I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
I mean, she's making sense.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Otherwise, they'll just have to disband without any fanfare. Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
Short and to the point. Okay.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships. Besides, anyone I've ever worked with probably couldn't wait to get rid of me. Since I'm just an ordinary person now, they'll probably just laugh in my face if I go asking them for help. True,
You shouldn't assume
but
the worst of people.
I mean, could you even blame them? I show up out of the blue, begging and groveling for their help with a show they won't even get paid for? Ooh, no way. I'm dying from embarrassment just thinking about it. Nope, not happening.
Well, is there anything else we can do? This performance really means a lot to the guy we're working for.
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't want this job, nor do I know of anyone else who would. Sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound so harsh. I wish I could help, really. But if I thought I had the answer to this problem, I would have said so by now.
It's all right, Furina. Paimon just wanted to make sure we tried everything. Oh, everyone in the troupe will be so disappointed.
Let's come up with a plan B.
I guess that's all we can do now. All right then, we'll see you around, Furina.
Toodaloo to you too. I'm going home to take a rest now.
Why, she's totally gonna change her mind. She's like, oh, I need to get out of the house.
It's too bad, but we have to respect Furina's decision. Maybe the thought of performing brings up too many painful memories now.
Exactly.
Huh? What's going on? Are they arguing?
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement without my consent?
Ooh.
When did I tell you I'm going to take a step back?
You didn't need to say it. We've known each other for how long now? We know the signs. But you never tell us about your illness, even when it's clearly flaring up.
And that gives you the right to make a decision on my behalf?
Shortly after you left, the troupe's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. She believes that she's healthy enough to perform. Excuse me, but can you both take a moment to discuss something else for now? The adventurer assigned to your commission has returned.
Sorry, I was just dealing with a little misunderstanding. So, how did your conversation with Furina go?
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to persuade her, but she wasn't having it. She doesn't want to play the role for personal reasons.
I see. Well, circumstances have changed a little, so maybe that's not such bad news after all. You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all. Staging the musical with the full original cast was always the dream, of course.
Oh, right. Sounds like everything worked itself out then.
Imagine if we convinced her to join the fund if she's not like she's gonna wander up behind us, isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't she?
she'd be livid. We'd get the scolding of a lifetime.
Jeez, is Lady Furina really so harsh with people?
Only joking. Calm down. So, guess we can consider this case closed now, huh? Despite the fact that we failed to complete the commission, we were still racking our brains for ideas on the way back here.
Dot.
Look, there's no point arguing with you about this anymore. You've made yourself very clear, so I'll stop looking for a replacement. This is the last chance we have, though. If your illness flares up again, there won't be time to find anyone to replace you. So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it? The whole team is putting everything they have into this final performance. We have to make sure it goes ahead.
Yes, I'm completely confident. I've been taking a new medication from the doctor, and it's working brilliantly. I'll definitely be able to tough it out until the performance day. I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as a troupe with a proper farewell show. So, the last thing I want is to be left out. Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home, myself included.
You're right. I'm sorry. I let myself get too worried about the show. I should have asked for your permission first.
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on.
What are we looking at?
Sure.
Hey, how did you...
Why are we like
I was
grabbing
just
her?
passing by because I realized I forgot a couple of items on my shopping list. Alright, I'm coming. No need to
Yep,
tag me.
we're gonna pull her out and socialize. Okay.
Hello, one and all. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation just now.
Furina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a rest at home? What are you doing here?
I was just ever so slightly concerned about the situation you mentioned. Yes, a teensy bit concerned, that's all. When you came to talk with me earlier, I jumped right to explaining my position and said some strongly worded things. And all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. Anyway, I just feel a bit bad about how it went down. I'm sorry, Paimon.
Oh, it's totally fine. Paimon didn't take any of that personally.
Why didn't you just show yourself?
You really have a knack for asking the most uncomfortable questions, don't you? I felt very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, to make matters worse, you caught me. But in any case, it sounds like the issue has already been resolved.
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack. I mean, how could we be worthy of having Lady Furina star in our show?
There's no need to think like that. And no need to keep addressing me as lady. Just Furina is fine. I was wondering, if this troupe is so important to all of you, why does it have to disband? If the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be a solution. You could put the shows on pause while you look for a sponsor, for instance. Everyone seems so devoted to the troupe. I'm sure if you keep chipping away, you'll find a way through.
We all want to believe that, but some things are just beyond our control.
How about Furina was
Everything's
controlled the
been going
prophecy?
downhill ever since we lost our director. She was the heart and soul of our troupe. She kept us going.
Her name was O'Reilly, and she was the founder as well as the artistic director of our troupe. And
Oh, I kind of
tragically,
remember that.
she was a victim in the serial disappearances case.
What?
That was one of the ones of
That's actually how I recognized these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the
that
true
the
culprit
ocean was like,
brought
I
to
would have made it
justice.
in my shows on the stage.
But still, no sentence can bring our director back to us.
She was a loyal fan of your performances, Miss Furina. They were what first inspired her to get into musical theater. She rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life. and convinced them to join her troupe. She wrote her own scripts, acted on stage, and mentored each and every one of us. People loved our performances back then. We seemed to be going from strength to strength. Things were really looking up for us.
Is Furina become the
And
new
then
director?
Disaster struck.
Yeah. After that, the entire troupe fell into disarray. None of us know anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things. We've been doing the best we can, but despite our efforts, things are slowly but surely falling apart. It's agonizing, but ultimately, we'd rather end things now on our own terms than stick it out to the bitter end and watch all our dreams turn to dust.
Oh.
So sad.
What a terrible waste. A gifted artist from humble beginnings who achieved so much and no doubt had much more to give. And then her life was so cruelly taken. I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides being your farewell to the stage, is also your final gift for her?
Yes, exactly. We all miss her terribly.
Well, good thing I followed the traveler here. After hearing this tragic tale, I can no longer stand by and do nothing.
Furina.
She's going to help.
I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself. Besides, they're no longer looking for a replacement anyway. I can, however, provide some artistic guidance from the vantage point of a highly experienced audience member. But only if you feel this is something that would help, of course.
Oh, most definitely. We'll take any guidance that you can give.
We unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant, though. Will that be a problem?
I don't need any compensation. All I'd ask in return, if you're willing, is that you tell me some more about the life and work of your late director. Something I've begun to realize since my departure from the Opera Epiclese is that there's a lot you don't see when you observe everything from on high. The law only judges criminal behavior and does not weigh human emotion. The court's verdict can settle the question of criminal liability, but what about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? What happens to them?
It can bring emotional catharsis.
An interesting answer. But if you ask me, I think all emotion shall ultimately return home to the heart and slowly settle with the passage of time. Take, par exemple, how this troupe pines for
By
their late
par
director.
example.
Things such as this I have never witnessed before, and so I should like to observe, perchance to understand.
Still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh? You just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
No. This is a completely different situation. Pearls before swine.
The name's not Swine, it's Paimon!
Would you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
I would do. What do you mean? Since it's you, I'll
Thank you
do
all
it.
so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Furina's performances, as of course we all are. All right, follow me. We'll go to our usual practice space. Please excuse the size. It's a little on the smaller side.
We're gonna make a play. In we go. Oh yeah, look at that, it's a little stage.
Huh? Lady Furina?
What's Lady Furina doing here?
Hello all. Allow me to explain. As of today, Lady... Miss Furina will be supporting our production of The Little Oceanid in the role of artistic consultant. These two over here are the ones that made it possible. They kindly reached out to Miss Furina on our behalf. I'm sure they need
But
no
Furina needs an introduction.
You bet! That was the trial of the century!
You helped bring our director's murderer to justice. We can't thank you enough.
Oh, please don't mention it. We're just here to join in on the fun.
So, you were saying The Little Oceanid?
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director. One of our greatest regrets is that she never got to complete it. So, if we can bring it to the stage and make it a successful show, we can all take some solace in that.
Wait, but if it's not finished, then...
Yeah, they had to finish it.
Yeah, we've been battling issues on every front trying to realize this dream. Anyway, let me give you a quick summary of what the story's all about. The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself into human form, despite the protests of her family.
It's kind of funny that this comes
She
after the
longed to
Archon
live
quest.
just like any other human. And sure enough, she found friendship and even love. Everything seemed perfect.
But the person was
But
writing
one
the script
day,
before
her true
the Archon quest.
identity was exposed, and her world came crashing down around her.
So far, so good. A classic tale. What happened after that?
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. Unfortunately, this was as far as the director got with her script. We need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage. But people have different opinions on which direction to take it in.
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true-to-life tragedy.
By true to life, you mean the director's sudden disappearance?
Yeah, like they say, truth is stranger than fiction. But then there's the question of whether we really want to use the stage to pass our raw pain onto the audience.
Exactly.
The raw pain makes
A
it
lot
real.
of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment. We have to consider their emotional stake in this, not just our own. And one last thing. We're still waiting on confirmation from two of our main actors. The first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script, but the deadline's passed and we still haven't heard from him. The other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He took the director's death pretty hard. Hasn't set foot in the city
So you're gonna do
since.
this,
He
play the
did
main
write to
antagonist, but he
us,
hasn't even been in the
promising
city?
that he'll be there for the final performance, but we haven't seen or heard from him since. So we're not really sure what to make of that.
Huh. Although, now that we have Miss Furina helping us, maybe we should take the opportunity to get everyone back together.
What opportunity? What do you mean?
Maybe you're unaware, but your name has always been like a rallying cry for us.
Our director was constantly singing your praises. All of us look up to you as a role model.
Oh, stop! You're making me all flustered. Although, not in a bad way. I suspect the reason they're dragging their feet is that they have their doubts about whether the show will really go ahead, considering all the issues you've been facing. But one by one, all the obstacles are being removed. Now is the time to rally the troops.
Makes sense. Okay, priority number 1, let's check in with Paulo and see where he's at with the ending. He went back to Poisson a few days ago, said that staying in a friend's home might help him to relax and escape the feeling of isolation.
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors, given that Poisson was flooded not too long ago. But I guess it's
Friend
the
in need
opposite.
and all that.
A friend in need and all that.
It's a friend indeed.
Maybe you could use some company.
Maybe Furina could use some company.
Poisson. Nothing. I suppose my presence will be indispensable if we are to restore his faith in the show. So, allons-y. To Poisson!
Allons-y. I know that word. I know what that means. Thank you, multiple years of French class in high school and college. Poison's still damaged. Still got the sad music.
If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
Who is it?
It's me. Is the script ready?
You came all the way here for that?
All right. Forget that for now. Just come on out. We've got some great news.
Nice try. Look, just give me some time, okay? I'm just wrapping up this last part of the script. I'll be out once I'm done.
Okay then. Looking forward to your masterpiece.
Didn't
So,
work.
as expected, he's missed the deadline.
The ending is one of the most important parts of the show. Even once he's done, it isn't final until we've all had the chance to read through and make sure we agree on it.
Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was a case of mistaken identity, but sure enough, here you are. And Furina, too.
I was wondering if we might run into her.
So, you're here for Palo? Looks like he could be a while, so feel free to take a stroll around town in the meantime. I've made all the arrangements already.
What arrangements do you
It's
need to
okay.
make for
We can
wandering
just
around?
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. We'll take that stroll. Get over here, you! How oblivious are you?
How are things in Poisson now? Any better?
Okay, I guess that explains it.
Things are on the mend, but it's a slow process. Some people may never recover from the trauma they experienced.
I'm sorry to hear that. I wish there was something I could do.
Please, must our conversations take such a depressing turn every time we meet? We all have painful memories, but we don't have to let them cloud everything we do. And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
Thank you for your words of comfort. You make a very good point. But for now, at least, I think I should stay with the way I'm feeling for a while longer.
It's okay. These things take time. Moving on from a painful experience is easier said than done. Which brings me to why I'm here. I thought you should probably know that not everyone here is ready to forgive and forget after the Hydro Archon's inaction in the face of catastrophe. To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that you are just an actress playing the role of Furina. It's not a perfect solution, but hopefully it means you won't have to lie low while you're here.
That's so thoughtful of you, Navia.
Well, what do you expect? I am the courageous and considerate president of Spina di Rosula, after all, like my father before me. Anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
Thanks for popping in again, Navia.
Off we go then. Let's take a look up there. I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with, so maybe she's right. You're the closest thing to friends that I have.
Accompany her as she unwinds. Boy, I've really got the hiccups tonight.
I'm so grateful that Miss Navia was so understanding. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know if I was ready to meet her. It's always easiest to just run away from your problems. But that never fixes anything. You can't get around the obstacles without facing them.
So that's why you were nervous when they brought up Poisson.
Yes, quite obviously.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of coming back here. Still, I felt it was something I had to do. As I was saying before, I want to see for myself the things that I never could in the past. I'd be overjoyed if the people here could find it in their hearts to forgive me. But they're more likely to unleash a tirade of vitriol against me. Which, of course, I completely understand and accept. Yeah, I can tell people are watching me. I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to Poisson dressed as the Hydro Archon as extremely disrespectful. I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people, especially when they had suspicion or resentment in their eyes. I guess I wasn't quite ready for this after all.
I'm not surprised you're making yourself go through all of this.
You've taken a bit too much in one
I
go.
can't let myself see only the things I want to see. How would that make me any different from before?
Look, there seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
And they're not staying quiet either.
Every time we made a move. How about we check out Spina di Rasula's ship? We should have a view of the whole of Poisson from there.
Of course, then it's unfortunate because, you know, the inaction that she took was the only action she could have taken. Otherwise, everybody would have died. But I don't know that they know that, nor I don't know. Also don't know if we could tell them that.
I'm sorry. You probably just wanted a relaxing stroll. And here I am dumping all this heavy stuff on you.
We don't mind. It's actually refreshing to see a different side of you.
Great.
Let's sit down.
Well, I appreciate your company, so please don't disappear just yet. I don't know whether you can tell, but the years of suffering and loneliness aren't the only reason I have a hard time facing up to who I used to be. As I stand here by the ship, I can't get the images of the rising water out of my mind. One after another, people were taken by the water. All those treasured lives and memories washed out of existence in an instant. They thought their god would protect them. They had absolute faith that when disaster struck, a divine power would save them from harm. And all the while, I played my part to perfection to convince them that was true. But then the floodwaters finally came, and the Hydro Archon did nothing.
You shouldn't look at it like that. You were only doing your duty.
I've had to go through so many moments like that for the sake of protecting the truth. As time went on, it got harder and harder to bear, and I became more lonely and isolated. Eventually, I realized I had nothing left except the truth. I became terrified of completely failing in my task, and was haunted by the thought of being left all alone, weeping on my throne. Fortunately, we were able to avoid the worst-case scenario thanks to the help of heroic individuals such as yourselves. Everyone rose to their responsibilities, and I finally regained my freedom. But on some level, freedom also means no longer being needed. I have no further use to people.
Paimon would have never imagined you'd see it that way.
Give you freedom as your reward. And also, if you want to be
A
useful,
reward?
get out there and get used.
I guess so.
That sounded wrong. Get out there and be
then
useful.
I didn't even dare to dream about having someone to confide in. I was scared of someone recognizing me for who I truly was and exposing the secret I swore to protect. Believe in the Furina you see on stage. She is the one you can trust. I had to keep all my feelings, all my curiosity about life to myself. No one could be allowed to know. That's what I really meant when I said I'm no good at maintaining relationships.
So that's where you were coming from. Paimon totally thought you were just a bit of a diva at heart.
Could you please get off my case? I don't know what's gotten into you today. I'm making an effort here. You could at least try to do the same.
Come on, yeah, Paimon.
I do. I once had nothing but the truth, and now I'm finally free to live my own life again. And even though I have no idea where I'm going right now, at least the choice is in my hands. All right, it's about time to head back. Paulo should have finished the ending by now.
Sure. Okay, let's head back and check it out.
And get yelled at, probably. Yeah, Furina, if you want to be useful, just
say you needed to
roll
watch
up your
what you
sleeves,
eat?
grab a hammer and some
You're
nails, and
supposed
start
to be
fixing the
cutting down on
bridge.
fried foods, not wolfing down copious quantities of fish and chips, you know?
Come on. It's not every day we get to dine at Spina di Rosula's expense. Can you believe how generous she is? I'm not about to pass on free food. Anyway, my character doesn't need to be slim and good-looking. That's your job.
Are you kidding me right now? It's not your character's health I'm worried about, it's yours. I've spent my whole life battling the effects of ill health, and it kills me to watch you willingly ruin yours by filling yourself up with junk all the time.
Oh no, looks like they're arguing again. We're back! Could you maybe put your differences aside for a moment?
Ah, you're back. We've been enjoying Spina di Rosula's VIP treatment in your stead. Paulo's nearly done. We shouldn't have to wait too much longer.
Great! So you were discussing your characters, right? We heard she's playing the Oceanid who turns into a human girl. What about you?
Me? I'm an Oceanid too.
He was originally supposed to take the form of a crane, but he outgrew that role. Well, the costume at least. So now he's playing the boar instead.
Sorry.
The
No,
boar
it's-
is not a bad
it's funny,
character,
Paimon.
actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
That's right. He has some pretty memorable lines too. Like when he imparts some solemn words of wisdom to the little Oceanid. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
That's just
Wait,
mirroring Furina.
Sounds kind of familiar.
It's the most important line in the whole script. I think it's a symbolic statement about our director's life and legacy. She kept quiet about all the trials and tribulations she faced in running our troupe, allowing us to devote ourselves fully to performing. It was only after she was gone that we realized how tough her job really was.
You mentioned earlier that the troupe is like your home.
Yeah. I was born with an incurable illness, and once my family found out it couldn't be treated, they decided they didn't want me anymore. I spent some years taking whatever work I could find and trying to manage my illness with various medicines. But whenever I had a bad flare-up, I'd be lying in an alleyway for days at a time. It was like that until the director found me one day. She told me I had a great voice and asked if I was interested in studying singing from her. I said yes. She took me under her wing, taught me to both sing and act, helped me find Mora for my meds, took care of me when my condition decided to flare up. I know it was all a huge burden on her.
She sounds like
That's
a
why
really
she's so indebted.
incredible person.
She really was. She gave everything she had to her troop and the people in it. All of us were so proud to call her our director. I was a lost child too when she found me. As the child of a murderer, my parents weren't around when I was little, so I got sent to an orphanage. The other
Face? With
kids
whose
were always
face?
picking fights with me.
The NPC or
They'd say
Furina?
things like, "Come on, you must be pretty tough if you're the son of a murderer." It was just to taunt me, though. I was an easy target, and they knew it. One day, I got beaten up so bad that I just couldn't take it anymore, so I ran away. I lost all faith in humanity by that point. Thought the whole world was out to get me.
Let me guess. Fortunately, the next person you ran into was the director.
Yeah. For the first time in my
Am I
life,
doing polls? I'm
was
gonna do it when the
somewhere I
quest is
felt
done.
safe.
And since it's a story quest,
and
not
I
an
promised
Archon quest, it
myself I'd
shouldn't
stay
take
here until the day the group parted
4.5
ways.
hours to do the
The day you
to do the
hoped would
quest.
never come. How times change.
Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here. There's someone I need to introduce you to.
Yeah, you
This
can indeed
is
live
our new
spontaneously through
artistic
me.
Consultant, Miss Furina.
Furina? The Furina? Oh my god, how did you manage to wrangle that?
Please, the honor is all mine. I was profoundly moved to hear about your troop and your wonderful
It'll probably
director.
be, I don't know, like
I just
an
wanted to
hour,
do
hour and a
something
half,
to help.
maybe. I don't know how long this takes.
Here.
I just know that it will be short. Would be shorter.
And so, this is just... Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I'll try to calm down. Now, where was I?
I'll make sure to let you know if you're not
yes, the
here
script,
when
of course.
I'm pulling.
Let me give you a rundown of how the story unfolds in my version of the script. I'm sure you're already familiar with the beginning of the story. A little Oceanid decides she wants to become a human, against the wishes of her family. She finds love and friendship in the bustling city. But then, disaster strikes. The people start to notice that all the fresh water in the surrounding area is slowly disappearing. The soil is becoming arid, plants and flowers are withering, and the people begin to panic. The little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it, and investigate the truth of the matter together. In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years has caused the fresh water to flee the land, as if driven by a consciousness of its own.
Consciousness? You mean the water is sentient?
Water as a conscious entity. There's actually quite a few stories that explore this theme.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling. She then tells her lover about her true identity, as well as the truth behind the crisis. Her lover accepts her for who she is, and works with her to find a way to bring the water
Some people
back.
eavesdropping.
However, unbeknownst to them, there were some people eavesdropping when she revealed her secret. The little Oceanid is accused of being directly responsible for driving the water away, and faces the greatest dilemma of her life.
And then?
In the end, she makes the brave decision to sacrifice herself to save her lover, and the rest of humanity.
Huh? But didn't they all treat Cleo like a villain? Why would she want to save them after that?
Well, she mainly wanted to save her lover, plus everyone who'd stood up for her.
Through her love for her human partner, she was able to find an even greater love, one that extended to all of humanity. Surely the biggest strength of Cleo's character.
There's actually something else that bothers me. You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And she never had the chance to become a hero in our world. If we're serious about dedicating this show to her memory, we should make the ending as true to life as possible. What about if the little Oceanid is hounded to death by people who hate her? Her lover makes sure her
Hey, you wrote the
secret
whole
never
ending, but
gets
I'm gonna come
out,
up with another one right here
and
on the spot.
humanity continues down the path to extinction.
That sounds like too cruel of an ending to me. And perhaps a little irresponsible to present to the audience.
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director Aureli's death, both arbitrary and meaningless. On the day when she went missing, Director Aurelie had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue, to leave the court of Fontaine and wait for her outside the city. We waited and waited at the rendezvous point, but she never came. By the time we returned to the city, she disappeared without a trace. We looked for her. The Gardamex looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found. Increasingly, all the signs seemed to
All the
point to her
signs,
being
basically
the
the one
latest
sign,
victim
which
in
was
the
just that she
serial
was gone.
disappearances case.
The director was the kindest soul in the world. Yet she was senselessly sacrificed for the sake of a so-called experiment by someone who had nothing to do with her at all.
But doesn't the way she suddenly told you to leave the city suggest that maybe she had some sense of what was about to happen? It almost seems as if she was moving you to safety.
I've been trying to follow up on that ever since, but all my efforts so far have turned up nothing. Villemont might know something, but he won't open up to me.
Guess we're gonna have to go talk to Villemont.
The one who's playing the role of the villain?
Yeah. He's been overwhelmed by grief. I think the director's death hit him hardest of all.
Grief? Guilt, more like. Also, I have a hard time imagining that anyone took it harder than me. Because, well, speaking of the play being true to life, I was deeply, madly in love with Aurelie.
What? You kept that one quiet.
It's time to be upfront with you all. No more keeping secrets from each other. We'll never be able to agree on the ending if we can't be honest about how we feel. I did tell her how I felt once, but she turned me down pretty much straight away. She said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her, and she'd never considered us as potential romantic partners. Not that it came as a shock or anything. It was what I was expecting to hear. So I told her I'd always be there for the troupe, and I'd always be there for her. I said, maybe one day in the future, when everyone's settled into their own lives and on the up and up, and managing the troupe no longer required her constant attention, well, maybe then she could reconsider what she really wanted in her life. And now, that day will never come.
Okay, dude, but she said no.
Paula. So if I'm the
It
one
is-
writing this ending,
It is romantic.
then I'm gonna make sure it does right by Aurelie. I won't let anyone get in the way of that.
In that case, you have to straighten things out with Villemont once and for all, face to face. We've all had our differences of opinion over the ending, but those two have never seen eye to eye on anything. One of them has to compromise if we're ever going to reach a final decision.
Well, if that's where we're at, looks like it's time to go visit Villemont.
Are you ready to face the truth?
Honestly, I'm slightly terrified. But for the sake of our
What do
final
you mean
performance,
face the truth?
I'll do whatever it takes. Funny you should ask, though. You really do get what I'm going through right now.
I certainly do. Come on, everyone. Allons-y!
Let's go. He's just out in the... Just looking for him out on the grass in the middle of nowhere.
This is tough going. Delphi,
So why did that building
are
just
you
spawn?
sure you can manage in your condition?
I could ask you the same question. Try to keep up.
Nope.
Ugh,
Slimes.
I bet this journey wasn't tough enough already without a roadblock.
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the traveler here. We don't need to take a detour. Wait, why are you all looking at me? You're not seriously expecting me to fight, are you?
We're just curious, that's all. I don't think anyone's ever seen Furina in a fight before.
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her power so it could be converted into Indemnitium. Miss Furina said so herself.
Precisely. And I'm not even the Hydro Archon anymore, so all my power is gone anyway. As much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just stay put. I'm more like a damsel in distress more than anything.
That sounded so smug. Ugh, secondhand embarrassment is unbearable.
This doesn't require god level powers. Don't you know any self-defense?
Hey, lay off, all right? My bluff is hanging from a thread here. I'm sorry. I got carried away. Please help us out, would you?
Aw, too bad. I was so pumped to feast my eyes on fight mode Furina.
Sorry to leave all the heavy lifting to you.
Don't worry, piece of cake.
Go.
I don't have anybody that can really break the
Shine down.
cryo slime though.
Illusion shattered. Shine down.
This made her look.
More slimes. Why does it have to be cryo when I don't have a claymore?
Illusion.
Free me.
Nice.
Inazuma shines eternal.
Doesn't work. Little overkill.
Bravo! Good show! You certainly live up to your reputation.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, the path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
That was why this little tent did spawn. Thought I might have been
Vilma,
imagining that,
Are you there?
but
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait, what's Lady Furina doing here?
I can explain. We've been rounding up the whole troop. We now have everyone except you.
So, you think knowing the truth about the director's disappearance will help you write an ending to the script that pleases everyone? I care just as much as everyone else about making the Little Oceanid a success. That's why I wanted to wait until after the show. If I open this can of worms now, I just don't want to make things difficult between us. We're supposed to be a unit when we're on stage. Vilma, avoiding the truth will not help anyone. Unless you mean to suggest that Aurelie's death had something to do with you. I don't want to talk about it. Listen, Vilma. I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame. I never brought it up to anyone. But now, I've made up my mind to put it all on the table. I'm prepared to face everything, to sacrifice everything for the sake of the show. The Little Oceanid cannot be complete unless we do justice to Aurelie on an emotional level. This is why people think of you as not being the smart one. As you all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations from the audience. Of course, that was nowhere near enough. We took on side jobs when we weren't performing, but even then, the troupe's financial situation was pretty dire. So, anyway, one day after a show, a merchant came to me and offered us a huge sponsorship. In return, we just had to provide the audience with their drinks during performances. It seemed like a win-win, so I said yes to it on the spot without consulting the director. It was only when the merchant came to deliver the goods that I realized
it was synth.
the drink in question was synth.
Isn't that the drink peddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
I
Yep.
freaked out when I saw the boxes. And I told the director everything right away. She was completely shocked as well. But she didn't reprimand me for making the decision without consulting her. Instead, she contacted the merchant and stated that the troupe could not agree to this collaboration. The merchant was furious, berated us for going back on our word, and threatened to sue us for damages.
So that wouldn't make any sense,
That was
though.
astronomical.
How could they
There
sue you
was
for
no way
damages?
we'd be able to pay.
There wouldn't be any damages.
And then,
I was going to sort it on my own, but the director stopped me. She said that this was an issue for the whole troupe and it wasn't my fault. But things only got worse from there. The synth merchant just wouldn't let up, and then suddenly the director told us all to leave the city one day. I knew then that things must have reached a boiling point. I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then, and after the director disappeared, I was even more afraid to say anything.
You accidentally brought the attention.
Yeah, I got Aurelie killed. There, I said it. Happy now?
Hey, don't say that.
you traitor! You knew Aurelie was in danger. Why in God's name didn't you tell us? What do you mean, you were afraid? This was a life and death situation. We could have saved her! How could you be so stupid?
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Yeah, listen to him. You need to stay calm.
Stay calm? How can I stay calm? This guy got Aurelie murdered. She was the love of my life. And he has the gall to try and high-road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the sake of the show. How about taking some responsibility for what he's done?
All I can say is I'm sorry. Truly. I wanted to apologize to everyone in the troupe, but that won't bring back the director. What good is my apology now? I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back. Beat me up if you want. Kill me if you prefer. It's what I deserve. End my life. So I can meet the director and apologize to her in person.
Get out of my sight! Go! Get lost! I don't ever want to see your face again!
That's enough! You've screamed and shouted at each other for long enough. Now pipe down, both of you! Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real-life relationships in the troupe? You keep saying that you want to use this final performance to pay tribute to your director and celebrate her life. How can you do that if you're just using it as an excuse to vent your own emotions?
You're right.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience's attention. And you're all used to seeing the director as the heart of the troupe. But in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention. I can tell how much she loved you all, and how much she loved the troupe. What she wanted was to build a warm home for all of her brothers and sisters. To shield you all from the storms that rage in the world outside. That's how you should remember her. And that's what you should be celebrating. I understand why you're trying to make her the hero of the story, but isn't she your hero already? After everything she did for you?
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. And then think again about what you hope to achieve by arguing with each other. If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. Why bother with the final performance if the group is already fractured? But you can't bring yourself to do that, can you? You care too much about Director Aurelie and the home she built you all to let go. What are you laughing at? I don't see what's so funny.
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's just that, for a moment there, it felt like our director was back with us again. If she'd seen Paulo and Vilmont at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded them exactly like you did, in that same stern voice.
Really? But she sounded like such a gentle
Gentle when she needs to be.
Of
Stern when
course she was.
she also needs to be.
Even her harshest lectures came from a place of kindness, and it showed. She really was a truly outstanding person.
What you said, it really puts everything into perspective.
I'm truly sorry. I really meant for this to be a genuine apology, but I ended up making it all about me and my self-pity.
It's all right. Let's save all this for after the performance.
So, the ending. What are we gonna do about it?
We're gonna rewrite the whole show.
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back for now and reflect on what really matters. When emotions are running high, things get lost in the fray. The end of the story needs to focus back on Aurelie herself. She's the true star of the show.
It might actually be possible to find out more about her fate.
What do you mean?
Are we gonna
The
go stick her
Traveler's right.
face in the fountain
You
of water?
once investigated that underwater synth
Oh,
base
then we're gonna
and
go get her
recovered
stuff.
items belonging to the victims. If you could find anything that Aurelie left behind, perhaps we can get a better sense of
know
what
what?
she went
That
through
makes
in her
sense.
final days.
You really think that's possible?
I trust that nobody would object to the ending of the story being based on Aurelie's true feelings.
No.
Well, we'll leave this in your capable hands.
Come, let's pay a visit to the Palais Mermonia. The rest of you, head back to the rehearsal location for now, and wait for our good news.
Never let me in. I need to find things.
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims of the serial disappearances case? But, that case has been closed for quite a while now. Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place, you don't actually have to submit an application. Okay, please hold on. I'll have someone dig them out.
So, this is all Aurelie left behind. Just whatever she was carrying on her person and this tattered old notebook.
Hey! It's full of script lines! And sketches too! Looks
Did
like
she
they
finish
show
the
where
script?
different props should be placed on stage.
Let me take a look. Maybe there's something in here from after she was kidnapped. Aha! I found something. To whoever discovers this diary. Let's see. Looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. She even mentions the truth behind the experiments on dissolving young women. If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of evidence proving Vacher's guilt.
Vacher took so many
I mean, we didn't need that piece of evidence. He was still, we still proved he did it without it.
I guess Aurelie must have written all of this down in the hope that her records would one day be of use to investigators. Wait, it cuts off. Her handwriting here gets patchier and more illegible by the line. She probably didn't have much strength left. Her final words are... I'll let you read them for yourselves.
Alright, let's see. Someone else was taken. It's so cold.
He was so terrified.
She may
just had
have
to
been
wait.
a mighty hero in the eyes of her troop, but at the end of the day, she was only human.
Just like Furina is a
I
mighty
can't
hero in the
bear
eyes
to
of the
think how
Fontanians.
painful and lonely her
And at the
final
end, she's
days
only a
must have
human,
been.
and she was terrified and lonely.
Wait, this part on the last page sounds strangely familiar.
The script lines.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret.
Isn't that the most important line in the...
Because I am an older sister to them.
Oh.
So she didn't regret her decision. Even as she sat in silence, waiting for death to come. I'm sure this is what the troop would have hoped to hear as well. She had their utmost trust, admiration, and love. And she truly deserved it. Let's go.
That's Alanzine indeed. Your internet always seems to work via Discord. Although I guess that would make sense since it's just audio. It's fine. Looks like we're getting nearer to the climax. Some grind their teeth and howl with rage.
She deserves a hero's farewell. If that's the only way to convey to the audience the courage and selflessness that she showed in the face of death, then it's a meaningful way to end the story.
Even in the last moments of her life, she was still leaving a trail for others to follow.
She did her best to protect as many people as possible, even if it meant sacrificing herself. We know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now. I don't think any more discussion is necessary. Well, Vilmont, if we put the past aside for now, do you think you can bring yourself to go ahead with the show?
I will channel all my regret and put it into my performance to make this a show worthy of our director. I won't ask for your forgiveness, and you don't need to worry about my feelings. This final farewell show should be about Director Aurelie and her alone.
Then it seems like we've reached a consensus. I have a feeling that this will turn out to be the most mesmerizing performance of your lives.
Really? How can you be so sure when you've never even seen them perform before?
Because they've got the heart now, Paimon.
Don't underestimate my experience. After watching a countless number of musicals,
They have a reason to
I've
perform.
learned one important thing. If you want to move the audience with your music, you must fully commit and immerse yourself in your role, pouring all your emotion into your performance.
Boy, do they have a lot of
And
emotion.
aren't human emotions, love, hate, regret, and hope, just the most mesmerizing things in this world? I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing this story to life on the stage than they are now.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Miss Furina. And thank you for supporting us through all this.
Then, let's not delay things any longer. We need to discuss the details of the ending and get it nailed down once and for all.
Actually, before that, I'd like to make a proposal. During the curtain call, please allow me to use the director's name instead of my own.
Huh? But then...
After all, this role was originally meant to be played by the director. I'm just filling in for her. Besides, A role commemorating her life
Didn't she
should be
commit fraud in
associated
court,
with
though?
her name.
Who? You mean
Well,
Furina?
If you're sure you're okay with that, I have no objection to it.
So we don't have the context of the conversation. You gotta make sure that your details are in your comment.
Now we're talking like
I
a
don't know who
serious
you're
acting
talking about.
troupe. All right, I'll leave you to fine-tune your musical while I go and procure a stage.
I assume you're talking about Furina because none of the NPCs. Yeah. None of the NPCs
Oh,
were.
it's okay. Our usual
We're in a
place
court
doesn't need
case.
a reservation.
That place? Oh, don't be silly.
I mean, I guess
For an extraordinary
she did
show, we
technically
need an
commit
extraordinary
fraud, but
stage.
not really in
By
court. I
which
mean,
of
yeah,
course
in court,
mean
but.
the opera epiclese.
But did you watch somebody
Oh,
play the
wait,
Archon? Oh, you
what?
watched me play the Archon Quest.
No. That's never going.
But I thought you were
to
gone
work.
by then.
It's far too fancy for the likes of
Or
us.
maybe you weren't.
What are you afraid of? Surely you don't think that Aurelie's story is unworthy of the grandest
That's kinda
stage in
rambly.
Fontaine.
No, though that's not what I meant.
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
Yes, but she had to commit the fraud in court. That's the point.
I have no problem with it then. How about the rest of you? I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. It really is a dream come true.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on me too. Come on. We'll need to get the go-ahead from Nerilette. I know just where to find him.
Oh. Got some extra voice lines
First
here.
Miss Furina, now the opera epiclese? If only the director was still with us.
Hey, come on. There's no point in dwelling on that now. We have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you're right.
During the final scene, maybe we should stop the music just before Cleo takes the stage?
I want Elaine in the discussion.
Best of luck to you.
Oh, God. Neverlet, he's up there.
Hey, look at that! Looks like I guessed right.
You were just guessing?
Of course she was just guessing.
I knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Furina. And you too, traveler in Paimon. What might I assist you
Neverlet,
with
it was
today?
literally this morning that we
I'd
last
like to book the
spoke.
opera epiclese for an event. You see...
I understand. The process for booking the opera epiclese is complex and can be somewhat cumbersome. But given that the request is coming from the three of you, I see no reason to make things unduly difficult. The story of the little Oceanid is most fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing it performed on stage. I will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
Huh? What do you mean? Do I look excited?
Yes. This is the first time that I've seen you like this since your departure from deityhood.
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about their situation. But one thing led to another, and... well, here we are. In the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court, giving our opinions on isolated cases, all while knowing very little about the human stories behind each and every one. Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom, but I've developed a great sense of curiosity about their lives.
I am truly delighted to see you find a new lease on life. Now that you've regained some confidence, have you had any thoughts regarding a return to the stage?
No.
Why would you suddenly ask a question like that?
Well, if the Little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. Many theater companies are certain to add it to their repertoire. The experiences and decisions of the protagonist Cleo are all modeled after your own. Naturally, this makes you eminently suited to playing the leading role. It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding acting talents once more.
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any role ever again. No exceptions. Nor do I think it is any great shame. There is no lack of fine actors or inspirational stories, either on or off the stage. This experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot, and it has already been well worth the price of admission. I must admit, though, I'm a little envious. They're quite fortunate to be able to bid farewell to their past in such a magnificent manner.
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy, be it on the stage or not. I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales. I will have my staff book the date and mail the relevant paperwork to the troupe once the details are confirmed.
Had Nouvelette come in and clutch again. Nervalette, sorry. Nervalette.
You're very welcome.
Just gotta ask him and he'll be like, yep, gotcha covered.
Many people were once enthralled by Lady Furina's performances, myself included. I hope that one day she'll be able to understand that our appreciation was always sincere.
Now, is she going to have a sudden dramatic flare-up of her illness right before they're set to take the stage, and there'll be no other choice but for Furina to go on and perform as, well, herself, basically? We shall see.
Everyone, it's done. The Opera Epiclese is booked. Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, Monsieur Nervalette was moved to provide us with a fitting stage for this special performance. We've had to fight every step of the way for this opportunity, but we now have all of the ingredients necessary to stage a truly spectacular performance. A touching story, a magnificent venue, and last but not least, a passionate and dedicated cast. Now, let's work together and make this show the best it can be.
This is truly wonderful.
The sooner we can finalize the ending, the more time we'll have to rehearse. Fiamma and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things. I think it's really going to resonate with the audience now.
Wow, you two had a constructive conversation? That's great!
Paimon goes accidentally insulting people again. Or making fun of them.
Look at us. We've come so far. I never could have pictured this scene a few days ago.
It's amazing! Even though Furina's still being a bit of a drama queen about it all, she's really fired everyone up!
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions you have. We really value your input.
Hey, Loic, get over here. Time to practice the opening number.
Get over here, she says while he's standing right in front of her. Glad they didn't just black screen
Cursed Cleo.
3 days later.
She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our people is to blame. How can we hope to win back the water's favor if we don't change our ways?
This guy could be useful. Take him hostage. If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
Leave this place, oh little Oceanid, and never, ever look back!
Everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles. I haven't seen such a fine performance in a long time. If only...
What should we do? It's almost time for her to take the stage!
Yep.
Why does it have to be now?
Hey, what's going on? You're due on stage any second now. Oh no, not again. But why? What about your new meds? Did they stop working?
They've been getting less and less effective over time. I've had to keep increasing my dose.
What? I thought they cure it. So they were only managing your symptoms?
She said she had an
I
incurable
figured
disease.
Whatever it took to get me through this final performance.
How could you do this to yourself? And after that lecture you gave me about not looking after my health.
I'm sorry. I've let everyone down.
You... This is a conversation for another time. How can the show go on without its star performer?
Miss Furina, I'd like to make a request of you.
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest. I know what you're going to ask. Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done. Although, I do have one more line. But I guess another guy in the troupe with a similar voice register could take it. Why?
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. I'll sing the finale. From the sublime to the ridiculous.
Look at that.
After all that,
She's got to do it.
things come full circle.
Thank you, Miss Furina. I'm so sorry to put you in this position after everything you said.
Never mind. What's done is done. It's really my own fault for getting in too deep. No one likes regrets, myself included. Leave
World
it to
join
me.
request. Not now.
I've watched you rehearse so
Why do
many
people only
times,
try to join
I've
the world
learned
while I'm
Cleo's
playing?
parts by heart.
In a quest.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to ask just one more question. After all, this show is dedicated to the life and legacy of our director. What, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines so brightly?
It's her pure heart. Despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure, she never once stopped believing in the beauty in this world.
Well said. I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
Out she goes. Thought they would have been like, due to a last minute sickness, we had to make a change.
Is she here yet?
Must she get here?
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
Pump the volume for this.
But what about your wish?
My wish.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Is it just me? Or was that Lady Furina on the stage just now?
She hasn't been seen for a while now.
I always wish she
And she just appears out of nowhere?
got her
Gotta
vision.
say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
The little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, that's not her name. What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, not too many people recognized me.
I mean, come on, Furina, please.
It's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule I'd managed to make for myself, even if I had no choice. Still, I have to admit that, despite everything, it felt good to be back on the stage again.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Furina.
So much for not recognizing.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on.
Oh, so it was Furina after all.
She's back!
Honestly, what is he doing? He should have run that by me first.
All right, calm down. Don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged. After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or invisible, is equally deserving of
back down now.
recognition.
Yes, I know the rule, but it should still be applied on a case-by-case basis. I wasn't ready for this yet.
It's no big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
A few autographs.
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can sign them for me.
This is a great chat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during the show? It nearly gave Paimon a heart attack. Paimon flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one popped out of thin air!
Yep, got her vision.
That. I've got no idea what happened there either. But hey, it worked pretty well, didn't it? I'll bet the audience has never seen such a realistic prop.
Wait, what about Dolphy? I wonder how she's doing.
It's kind of funny that just poof,
Let's go check on her as soon
vision
as
in the
we
middle of the
finish
show.
stage.
Yes.
That
Plus,
makes it
she'll definitely
two
want to
visions we've
hear
seen
how the
be
end of the
actually
show
granted,
went.
although
If
hers
nothing
was in the
else, we can
2D
safely
cutscene.
say that we accomplished what we set out to do.
Oh, I bet there's some people here who have things to say about that. The
Did anyone
performance.
see where Miss Furina went? Oh, I want to get her autograph, but I can't find her anywhere.
That's the Marco Meatball music guy.
I thought Cleo's actress sang very well. Why did they swap her out at the end?
I don't know. Maybe.
There we go.
I wasn't expecting such an incredible performance from an amateur troupe. They didn't seem out of place on the big stage at all.
Yeah, their technique could use some polish, but the performance in general felt very believable. Hit all the right emotional notes. I think it'll stay with me for a while.
And his voice is familiar too, but I don't know from where. It's always fun picking out voices you recognize.
What a surprise! Seeing Miss Furina on the stage? This ticket was money well spent.
Yeah, I agree. Say what you want about her, but she's flawless when she's on stage.
Out we go. Right, and then they're back in the city. back in the rehearsal hall. Makes sense.
Ah, you're back. She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original medication. From experience, though,
And the
I'd say she
lighting
still
shift.
needs a few more days of rest.
How did the performance
Nighttime
go?
to daytime.
Was it a success? Did the audience like it?
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic! Also, you're not gonna believe what happened while Furina was on the stage. You'll probably be able to read all about it in the Steambird first thing tomorrow morning.
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry I failed to see it through to the end. I guess I was wrong to try and tough it out to begin with.
Don't worry about it. Like they told me after announcing my name during the curtain call, everyone's work deserves recognition. Even though you couldn't see it through to the final scene, the audience was very impressed by your performance. It's safe to say that you made your mark on this memorial show.
Well, one way or another, we did it. I've had bad luck ever since I was born, so I never expect things to go smoothly in life. I'm just happy to know that we went out on a high note. That's all that matters.
Blaming your bad luck again, are we? Maybe if you didn't push yourself past your limits so much, your illness wouldn't be flaring up all the time.
Oh, don't you start.
Back to arguing they go.
I don't have the energy to argue with you right now.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about each other.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
Oh my god, it's just like the researcher people in the prison of Meripede. Fortunes of Meripede.
So, any plans for the next step? After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through Fontaine like wildfire. You won't have to disband if you don't want to. You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the Little Oceanid to the bigger theater troupes out there. That would do wonders for your financial situation.
No, we should still disband.
Yeah, it's what we all agreed to.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space. But maybe our paths will cross again one day.
Hey, don't just walk off!
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe. After watching Miss Furina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation with musicals.
You should do it. It suits you. I'd originally hoped to keep performing too, but I don't know if my health will allow me to.
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. I guess I'll hold off until you've properly recovered as well. What about you, Miss Furina? Any future plans?
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option for me. I'm sure a slew of consultancy requests will hound me wherever I go, until I finally acquiesce. You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. What I meant to say is that this whole experience has shown me that perhaps I'm not as averse to a return to the stage as I previously imagined. Maybe Nervilette was right. Maybe Cleo is the right role for me. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else, but I do have a desire to express myself. So, maybe the show will go on for me after all.
There's no need to draw the lines in the sand, make any hard boundaries like that.
Yeah. There was once a time when I was an actress in a masquerade, seeking only to hide the truth. But From now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people and how they touch the lives of others around them. I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the page, retold on the stage, and remembered long into the future. I'm sure this is what captivated director O'Reilly as well.
Sounds like you're ready to stop running from your true calling. The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place it is.
Next time I'll invite you to join me. Let's go to Mondstadt, the city of freedom. With your newfound freedom.
It's a deal. If a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to honor it.
I'm just finishing packing up. As soon as I'm done, I've got an interview with the Steambird to get to. Thanks to all your help, this show was more perfect than we ever could have hoped for. But most of all, I want to thank you for giving me the chance to finally say farewell to O'Reilly.
I mean, of course I have some regrets, but
There will be plenty of opportunities in the future for us to tell the stories that we want on stage.
Now that the buzz is worn off, I feel ready to pass.
Oh, now he's got a voice line.
thank you so much. I feel like it might turn out to be too little, too late for me. But still, this has been the experience of a lifetime.
It's ironic to think that in my whole time as a god, I could only ever dream of receiving this kind of power. And now that the gods have given me their blessing, it actually feels more like I'm finally able to take my fate in my own hands. Is that how humans feel about it as well?
Of course, the question is that there obviously isn't a Hydra Archon anymore. And based off the Shogun saying that she wasn't the one giving out electrovisions, who exactly decided that Furina should have the Hydra vision? What gods gave her the blessing? You know? Alright, well that's that. That's the story quest done. Which means it's time to wish, Vex. Although I'm curious, I'm wondering where I should do it. Should I either try and get myself into her throne in the Opera Epiclese, or go where I normally wish and do the Statue of Venti? Although first, I need to redeem the 819 Hydro Sigils at the fountain that I've been saving since Fontaine came. So that I can get even more wishes and rewards that are up in here somewhere. How many levels will this get me? It'll get me up to 27. Over halfway. That's only halfway? Damn. Alright, let's do it. Bam. So that gets 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 Aquane's Faints. It'll get me another 4 intertwines. No, yeah, 4 intertwines. And a couple, 2 Shrines of Death keys. Which I could use to get even more primos. They could use a claim all button for when people feel like doing this. Claim, 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 claim. Alright. Level 20, level 27. And now the adventure XP is just going to keep popping up over and over again. It's 27 times, one for each level. Alright, well I have 2 Shrines of the Depth keys, which means I can get myself open those chests and squeeze in a few more primos for pulls. Because I at least know where one is. So, almost time for wishing. I just have to run up a big hill first. I could switch back to Sayu, but I'm not going to.
A reward on the road.
There's that. I got that one earlier. Wrong button. Was there still one over here? Yes. Did I open that one? No. Alright. Let me go. Just have to not get targeted by the big angry robot that's flying around.
Is this an answer from this world?
Another 40. And I'm one Hydra Sigil away from leveling up the statue one more time. Oh, well. Delete. Alright, let's try and get onto the throne in the opera. Tell you what, for this I'm definitely gonna need Mr. Wanderer here. In order to sneak my way up onto the top there.
Squall Fury.
Are there any standable surfaces I can get on here? I know there's a way to get up there, or at least there was a way to get up there, and I fell down.
The wind rises.
Because I've seen pictures of people up there. I'm just not sure how to do it, because only like, maybe get over to Nervalets? Sadly, Mr. Scara can't fly up that high. Just get straight up there.
Behold!
I do like that the Ortrice is missing the blue shiny pearls that it had. Alright, well I can get Nervalettes, so I got that.
Squall and Fury.
What about up here? Okay. I'm gonna go up there.
Behold.
And then that's probably good enough, but we can get higher.
Squall and Fury.
And that'll definitely be good.
Behold.
Go over here. Walk around, almost fall off. Just very close, cautiously. Fly our way around. Nailed it. Alright, and then I have... because we're gonna get paranoid. I have the team with the other Archons that I have. So I'll have them sit in the seats. As we get to the Wishin. So I got 63 Fates and 106,961 Primogems, which is 668 more pulls on top of that. So 668 plus 63 is 731 pulls, not discounting the plus 5 that I'll be able to get for the Stardust exchange. And then if I feel like it and get, you know, depending on how many Star Glitters I have, you know, more of those. But I also have 19 standards. I wish it was 20, because then I could do 2 10 pulls. So we're just going to start with a nice standard 10 pull. And I'm also going to explicitly record this with OBS, just in case I want to cut it out, clip anything later. So sorry for the little blip in the video there. Just had to start the recording. So I hope you're here, Vex, still. I'm going to assume that you are. But can I get a confirmation that you are present, so that you can live vicariously through me and my experiences? You am present. That's good to know. Actually, I'm gonna send somebody a message. Is Am. Okay. 65 to begin with. I'm at 74 pity, not guaranteed. So this 10 pull will probably give a 5-star. Will it be Furina right off the bat? Who can say for certain? Alright, well, Charlotte right off the bat. That's good. Don't need to worry about being one of those poor people that has to spend 300 wishes for, like, the 4-star that they want. And we win our 50-50s here. Furina out the gate. Just go ahead and take a screenshot of that. First 10 pull gives me both the new ones. Just pop out for a quick second here. Oh, it put Charlotte in the party automatically. Charlotte, you're cool. I will use you, but that's not what we're looking for.
I knew you'd miss me.
That's more like it.
Strike a pose.
Okay, to turn to face the camera, you guys. The other one's hiding behind the throne. Alright. Now, we're gonna see how many copies we can get to level up to get as many constellations as possible. Because when I said I was throwing these all at Furina, I'm throwing them all at Furina. I didn't make it easy. I was all the way up against the pity Vex. The only thing that made it easy was the winning of the 50-50. And now we just have to see if the 700 and so pulls is enough to get C6. Because while I want her sword too, I don't want to have to maybe get the donut. Because it's not very good. Those three. Changyu, he's not the banner. Spam clicking to speed through because I don't want to press skip. Yes, let's get more Charlotte. That's what we want. Not that I'm max constellation on any of the other characters on the banner, but you know, new is more fun. I can't wait for my weapons to be full after this. More Kale. Also, Vex, the whole point of this, of you living vicariously through me, is so that you don't have to gamble. That's the whole thing. Oh really? You're gonna pick up Genshin now, eh? Well, do you think you can pick it up like now so I can go into your world and steal all the lilies that I need to level up Furina? Just kidding. Because that was it takes a while to unlock co-op. You have to like complete the whole prologue. No, because you have to do the prologue to unlock co-op, and then you'd have to get all the way to Fontaine. So, I'm just kidding. Alright, hitting the primos now. We're Kale. Okay, I was gonna say we're gonna have max Kale by the end of this, but we're probably gonna have max all the banner 4 stars. Oh, Fiverr. Kale. stay winning. We keep winning our 50s. That's C1. Favonius Lance. I don't know if I have any characters using the Favonius Lance right now. I don't know if I had one. Not going to tell me if I do. If I just look at it, is it? No. And you know what? I won't be wanting for Stardust or Star Glitter in the days to come. There's another Charlotte. Another Eye of Perception. Goodbye, 6 digits. We're back down to the 5s. Another Kale. Oh, and we've hit max Kale because we're only getting the 5-star glitter now. Nope, Kale, we hit max Kale. Don't need any more Kale. I don't have max Beto. You can give me Beto, or you know, more Charlotte. Oh, the bell. Keep on keeping on. There's a Beto. You know, I'm fine with not getting early pulls as long as the 50-50s keep happening. Of course, now that I say that, well, 2 in a row. You know what? Let's let this man into the world. Let's see what they have to say. Let's see who Nepal is here. Alright, okay, hold on. Let me just switch that out there. There we go. Let's get another character. What's my Chingshin? Random co-op person.
There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
wait for this guy's answer and then get back to the main attraction, because he's got me kind of curious. Let's make sure that he's not. Okay, he's over there. Yeah, how about while waiting, throw in another 10? Oh, fiver. Winning our 50s. Might as well type that in there. Got C2, only need 4 more copies. Another Charlotte, nice. Another Brain Slasher. That seems to be the very popular 4-star weapon coming through. Does he have they answered yet? Nope, just being very excited. More Charlotte. Another Charlotte. Only need 1 more Charlotte for C6 Charlotte. Ooh, another Favonius sword. I like the Favonian weapons. Let's go, Beidou. Oh, we maxed out Beto. Okay, let's use next 5-star. Oh, a Gene. I don't have Gene yet. And I heard Gene supposedly works well with Furina. So that is a good loss there. I mean, obviously, would have preferred Furina. But hey, it mean, at least it's not Dia or a Chi-Chi constellation. That's the first 50-50 that I've lost. Well, it's either it's either the first or the second, because to be honest, I don't remember the early Genshin days. Alright, well now we've maxed out Charlotte, which means that all the 4-stars are maxed out. Double Charlotte. Map again. Yep, okay, so he's still over there where he should be. Back in the wishes. You know what you are now? You're just more Stardust now, or Star Glitter now. Oh, just more masterless Star Glitter in my pockets. Looks like they're done. Goodbye, Nepal. Thank you for coming. My leg's kind of tired now. Wee. Dragon's Bane. Another Kale. Alright, next 10 pulls should have Furina in it. By the power of math. And a Kale. Her splash art is so big. Furina's. Fills up almost the entire goddamn screen. Alright, C3. Over halfway there. Another Rain Slasher. early 5-star. Tainari. Also don't have him. Well, early Tainari means quicker we get to Furina. Thank you for showing up early, Tainari. Reset back to 0. Oh, we got another world join request. Let's see what Holly wants. If they actually, you know, join, that is. Looks like it's going to be one of those times where I clicked accept, but then they never end up showing up. I suppose that's what has happened. On again with the wishing. Ooh, another Favonius Codex. That will be good to have. Oh, Layla. You're not on this banner, Layla. I think you can start skipping before the wishes even like fully come down to start the reveals. If you're just really so impatient that you can't wait to hit the second skip button. Because like you can skip right before you even see what color it's going to be. Oh, here we go. Here's C4 Furina. Bam. Paired with a Charlotte again. Okay, so we're at C4 now, and which means that I don't quite have enough to guarantee that I'll get C6, but it would be very close to the guarantee of having enough. If I lose both the next 50-50s and go all the way to max. I won't. But that won't happen, right? Please? Because, I mean, I still got the Star Glitter, too. Another Charlotte. I can't wait to see just how many of the extra copies I've pulled once this all shows up in the history and I can import it into Paimon.moe. Stringless, that hasn't popped up yet. Charlotte, thank you, Charlotte. Boy, I'm running out of water in my cup. Mika, nice. I always take more of people I don't have. Okay, will we win this 50-50? We will not win the 50-50, but at least it's a character that I enjoy. Thank you, Mona. A character that I enjoy and that I use. Alright, reset the clock. Give me another early one. Or please give me another early one. Perhaps an... Well, I guess it wouldn't be an early 50-50 win. It would be an it would be an early guaranteed, but an early-ish guaranteed, maybe. And then an early 50-50. Because I mean, Navi's coming out next patch. She's pretty cool too. Favonius Greatsword, yes. I'm glad I'm getting a couple of Favonius weapons. So that I can refine the ones that I have a little bit. Though I kind of wish I'd getting some more sacrificial swords. I got one. I saw one sacrificial sword pop up for Jincho. Beto, another Layla. Two Betos and a Layla. 3 characters at once hasn't happened yet. Oh, here we go. 60-ish pulls. Furina de Fontaine and Charlotte again. That's at least 3 times now that Charlotte has showed up with Furina, which I guess makes sense that they would go together. Alright, let's just confirm. Yup. 5 constellations, need 1 more. I have 186 left. C6 is now guaranteed. It would be impossible for me not to get it. The question is, how fast will I get it, and how many Primogems will I be left with to wish for a Miss Navia? More than I thought, apparently. Kuching, alright, lost again. That's still fine, because that was very early. To be able to get enough primos to guarantee Navia when she shows up. And you know what? I lost to another 5-star that I didn't have. So I've gotten Mona, Jean, Tainari, and Kuching. So 4 standards and 6 Furinas. There we go. That's more like it. The final Furina. That is now C6 Furina, and it only took, well, okay, it was like 63 times 160 plus, you know, the 80,000 that I spent. So 90,000. Who's this here? Kyoko. Will you actually join? Yes, you will. Oh, I see somebody else who's pulled for Furina tonight. Don't take my lilies. That's right, Katya. You know, nope, I need those. You're not taking them from me. All right, actually, let's do that. Let's check the wishes again. Got 156 wishes left. I'm not gonna spend them on the weapon banner, even though I kind of want to, because this bad boy right here. I really don't want to lose to the Jadefall Splendor twice in a row, and then not have enough to get Furina's sword. Even though I want Furina's sword for the drip, because I'd only have 211. And then I would be pretty much out. I would be out of fates for the ones I want to spend on Navia. You know what? Since I bought those 5 standards, let's end it off with another 10 standards for now. And say, what do you think, Vex? Do I risk it all and okay, Yunjin? Do I risk it all and go for her weapon? Or do I say, I'm saving for Navia, and I'll let Furina beat people with a metal pipe? Because I got the metal pipe. Metal pipe ready to go. Right, alright, let's go activate these constellations here. We got Yunjin acquired. Tainari, Kuching, Jean. And that's, yep, that's them. Are you try for 1 or C6 of web? I was saying, should I try to pull 1 of her weapon or not? Plus, it's called, you are 5 because it's refinement levels for weapons, and it only goes up to 5. But that's what I'm saying is, do we risk it all to go for the weapon? 50-50. Well, you see, the thing about the weapon banner is that to guarantee the weapon that you want, you have to lose twice. As opposed to losing once. So to guarantee it, you need 270 as opposed to 180. I feel like I could get it, but you know, it's risky because if you even get 1 Jadefall Splendor, well, I don't have a single character that's really useful on, because it's an HP percent catalyst, but it's about using an elemental burst or shield, and your elemental damage bonus increases for the corresponding elemental type for every 1000 max HP you possess, but only Baiju really scales off of HP as the catalyst. Nobody else does. Because, like, charge the catalyst, but her healing scales off of attack. And then the next catalyst is Ningguang, definitely doesn't scale off HP. You're a bow. Where's my Sucra? She doesn't scale off of HP. You don't scale off of HP. Barbara would be the only other one that would you know, sort of be useful of scaling off HP. But only just. You want to say YOLO 10 pulls? That's the other thing is, let me check this. Actually, I guess the weapon is 80, not 90. I've been just confused about this whole time. I guess, okay, so it's a 75% chance. If you get a 5-star, 75% that it'll be one of those two, which means it's only half of that to get the one that I want. And I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that the fate points are reset. I don't know if the amount of wishes before you get a fate point is reset or not. Wish count accumulated with weapon event wishes only. Okay, so it seems like the wish count is accumulated, but it's the fate points that don't. So it's like if you get two donuts, but then you don't have enough to get the third, the sword, you know, it's risky. Because as soon as you get 1 fate point, you're gonna say, okay, I'm all in. Gotta go for sword. Plus, then the other weapons that are here is the bell, and the bell is not a very good weapon, and nor is Dragon's Bane, I believe. I think the other 4 stars are good, but not that. I don't know. I do have another 19 days, 18 hours, and 42 minutes to make a decision. And get more Primogems from from the 2 new areas and the new world quests. Because we got the Arenius Forest and then the one whose statue I didn't touch yet. I will come back. Let's activate constellations. Or let's get you up to at least 1 ascension.
Oh, what a strange and wonderful feeling! I've got to write this down for my records.
Alright, let's see. So let me gonna read this again. Okay, that makes sense. Do like her Fontanian, non-Fontanian damage boost. Constellations, because I didn't really look at hers. After still photo, comprehensive confirmation heals a character. Mark them with verification to heal them once every 2 seconds again. So after her ult heals people, they'll be marked and heal for a bit longer. Then she increases her own attack. Then we get the skill level ups, or the burst level up. Then 4 is once you skill an opponent and hit them with the burst, it will deal more damage and get more energy. Then the skill level. And then when the active character hits someone marked, we get a coordinated cryo attack. Ooh. Which will then also heal the character. That's more healing. Bring freezing point compositions focused impression. But it's considered elemental burst damage. Triggered once every 6 seconds, and both damage and healing dealt in this way we consider as having done by her burst. Once every 6 seconds is kind of lame for a coordinated attack, but you know what? Still more damage. Very nice. Not entirely sure what, a good weapon would be for her. But I got plenty of eyes of perception. So then we get Mr. Tainari. Tainari likes charged attacks, so let's see if I just have a bow I can throw on him for now. Character's element immersion increased by 80 with after 6 seconds after charge attack hits opponents. That's probably good. That would probably be the best one that I have for him, should I ever choose to build. Then we have DPS Electro-Kuching. Not exactly sure what's good for her, so we'll just slap on a random one for now. Jean, who I feel like, by virtue of being Jean... Also, Vex, to answer your question is I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention to Honkai update. I feel like Jean should get a Favonius sword. You know, just because it makes sense. It's a shame I didn't get more Favonian swords. So I could up a couple of refinements, but... Oh well, we'll just give you that for now. And then we got Beto, who already had its C3. But now we got Beto, who gets free electro damage. Better burst, and electro resistance decrease. Then we get to Layla, who I already had. We get 2 constellations. To buff the shield and make shields for any nearby party members too. It's good for co-op. And she says invites a formal focus. Is that the burst? No, that's the shield. More energy, nice. Let's keep going. I got a Mika 1. That's some math I don't want to figure out, but it's a buff, obviously. Then to Kale, who I had C1. This is that weird wonky reaction one. Basically means it can refresh it. Then we got skill upgrade. Up plus EM by 60. Then the burst, and then more Dendro damage. Then I got a random Chongyun constellation to upgrade his burst. And lastly, well, okay, nope, still had the Mono one, right? Because we got the Mono loss. When any of your party members hits an opponent affected by an omen, the effects of Hydra related has for 8 seconds, but not the Bloom because they never bothered to update it. But Vape, bigger. There's Demonis. That's the good one, but oh well. And now we come to, boy, the long constellation names here, aren't they? Let's go ahead and level you up first. As much as I can, because I didn't kill the boss that much before this.
I'm really not accustomed to using a vision. Oh, why don't you teach me? I nearly forgot. You've never used a vision either.
Just gonna burn through these. I don't know, I was clicking that. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay, update then. Gotta get more Stellar Jades for Argenti for that. Send. I look at that, I have no Lake Light Lilies, I need to go find them. Let's See, now right now I should be familiar with these because I spent like a month looking at all the kit leaks. What's the max burst? Right. Basically, it gets halfway there already, and then the increased cap of 100. Right off the bat, nice. Then we have the increase of fanfare gain, as well as her increase of maximum HP. Which thusly makes the drain of her people, of her summons bigger, than making her gain fanfare stacks quicker. Then we have Let the People Rejoice, upgraded. To provide more incoming damage conversion and skill damage. Then Furina Energy Recharge. They know not life who dwelt in the netherworld not. Skill upgrade. Then wait, will that make the HP consumption change? 5.9 and 2.4. Oh, 7.45, still 2.4, okay. And finally, her Hydro Damage Infusion. With the increased damage by an amount of her max HP. And when she's in Numa, they're further increased by an amount with her HP. More HP decrease when more fanfare stacks. But only for 6 strikes. And there we have my first C6 5-star, Furina. And now I gotta run around, go picking up flowers from people's world, and killing the boss, and then killing the Trounce, the main boss, and then leveling her up. But because I put her on C6, I kind of want her to be on field, which means not Golden Troop, but instead Masheru's Hunter. I preemptively leveled up some pieces that I thought could be good, but I didn't really have that many for the flower. Let's see, where's my... I guess I didn't really have any super good ones for her watch, though, did I? I had a good HP percent for Golden Troop, but not for Masheru's Hunter. Guess we'll just slap that on for now. Alright, then I need the... I'm gonna go with the Hydro damage bonus. take that, because crit, HP percent. And then back to the hunter. Or to the hat. We're gonna need one with crit damage. Is there a crit damage one with HP percent? No. Okay. Then we have our choice between more energy recharge in EM or crit rate. I'm not entirely sure which would be better. But it should be fluctuating all the time. So that's basically 36% crit on top of the, as of current, 17.8. That'll be fine. Well, I wanted one with crit damage as the main stat, not one with crit damage as a substat. Because her ascension stat is crit rate, and I'm giving her this set, so that'll basically always be plus 36% crit rate. And then her weapon will increase the elemental skill crit rate by 16%, so she'd be critting pretty often once she's, you know, leveled up. So really it's the crit damage that we're after. Even if it's an unoptimal, you know, circlet. We'll throw in a couple of infusals to this one just to get that up there. Energy recharge. Good. Better than going into flat attack. But that one in the flat defense. Alright, now the goal. We need more boss materials, and I need to find flowers so I can level her up. So that means it's going to be a little bit of time for farming. I am going to stop my dedicated recording because I got what I wanted, which was the pulls. Now we're going to switch the party setup. Where's my... Oh, I'm in co-op. Back to single player. Okay, now party setup. I promise I'll come back, Furina. I just need to kill the boss with a different team.
Life goes on. Sacred name. Fortune pres... The Temple of Wisdom!
There is no escape!
Spring forth!
Now you shall perish!
Had to be right outside the radius of travelers first, didn't you?
Commit it to memory. Make yourselves at home. I see everything. Germinate.
Torn to oblivion.
Slap that down and in. Alright, more boss materials. Then I have 30 resin left, so we're going to go to the... I thought I put this over here. Trounce domain. Fight new big baddie. Get a couple of talent level up materials. As expected, it's going to be quite populated with Furinas. Now, will Hu Tao start it? Yes. Okay, we can't all be Furina, you people. So I shall be adding some extra heals. I expect the Hu Tao to hit some big damage numbers.
Life goes on.
Don't try to rush your enemy.
I just got landed on by the whale. Big whale. Be angry, eat us. Come on, eat us. Okay, was he screaming yes to get bored?
Orders given. Orders received.
Yeah, Furina, you're the one that can get him. Who needs to engage with the mechanic where you can just beat him up? We should save the burst for now. Yeah, let's go whaling. No escape. I can't keep up. Yeah, whale. now that I've done one, it's time to go get some flowers. Which means I need to, like, pull up a map or something. Ignore the screen stopping for now. It's because I'm looking for a map on my other monitor, and therefore Genshin go freezy. Where's the... I need the... We'll switch to...
There are still so many places for us to explore.
This is the team for quick collection and quick movement. Okay, and then how do I... I'm trying to use the interactive map here. Oh, there we go. Show the way light. Okay, and then, alright, we're good. Ready to go. Looks like it starts over by that teleport waypoint up there. So let's go get.
Squall and Fury.
And cut a swath of destruction across the
Everyone hold hands.
the land as we do.
Wind rises.
Swath of land, swath of destruction means more Hydra tokens, means more Primo gems.
Unnecessary.
Means more pulls.
Can't touch me.
Squall and Fury.
This might hurt a little.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Then we just go down the hill. And there's some by the riverside. Dupe bubbles will be burst, can be moved. They're being moved. Small and large. Harmonious reed pipe challenges. Okay. Erroneous reed pipe requires the ripples to be activated. Number of runes displayed which orders required to activate. So you have to activate in the order of, okay. So like Pume and Pume.
Upon the gale.
Take it now.
This is where you get the octopus to begin with. Or the octopus on land. Ah, but that replaces the skill. Oh, it doesn't replace the skill.
Hey.
Grab that. That. Then go attack this man over here. sure he deserves it.
Sharing my knowledge.
Let me scry. The wind rises. Upon the gale.
With Scara with Furina and Farazan would get me.
Upon the
Damage
gale.
wise. You know, seems like something worth investigating. Very windy here.
Everyone hold hands.
There's 3 more. Then I got to get to the
Swarm Fury.
other side. Like the skirmish's flying state kind of cancels out the wind push effect.
I see everything.
We got 3 there. Some rocks to break here.
Make my... Hey!
2 there, then there's some more over there.
I see everything.
Not quite far enough away. Close enough. Then up to here. Then there's 2 by this little pond of water.
Love it when the weather's like this.
The wind rises.
Oh, 3.
Squall Fury.
Okay, the fact that it kind of carousels them is funny.
Behold.
There you go. Just need a little bit extra wet.
You even want this?
Okay, then we got a ton around the Weeping Willow of the lake. All by the water, pretty understandable.
Everyone hold hands.
Squall Fury.
I see everything.
Randomly grabbing these with the Hina might not be the best ideas. Which can assume that by doing this, I'll get all of them. Right? Surely. Surely I would.
I see everything.
rises.
You even want this?
Get some more of them. There's something shiny down there. Look at that. Later.
Everyone hold hands.
Squall and Fury.
Let's go. Hit the teleport point. Easy future access. Go around. Why didn't I grab that one? There's two there.
I see everything. Yeah. Everyone hold hands.
There's a bunch around this little section.
Find anything you like? Hey.
Then supposedly there's some on the Weeping Willows Island. Though it would seem to be a little bit corrupted. And I don't see any actual spawn points.
Shadows of fate. Everyone hold hands. Bye. Ninjutsu.
The wind rises.
Maybe those don't show up until you've done a world quest or something, or interacted somehow to clear out that corruption. Or maybe they're underwater. Because they ain't above. Let's check underneath here. I don't see any, so I'm assuming they're up above. That's fine, I don't need them right away. We shall continue onward.
Quit following me. Behold.
Hit another teleport point. Then we go on. To right there, but also to killing these people.
The wind rises. Upon the gale. Unsightly insects.
Take it and have fun.
Too slow.
More XP, more skills, more everything.
Let me scry.
Behold. far enough.
There's 2. There's whatever that is.
I'm out of here.
Guess there's 2. There's some by that lake.
Shadows of fate.
Sorry. I keep pressing 2 to switch to Nahida because I have another team with Nahida in it that's where Nahida is on 2. The muscle memory's kind of messing with me.
Everyone hold hands.
Let me scry.
Squall and Fury.
Can receive energy from the ball octopus convert and stored energy that can be fired in direction when the flow is interrupted. Ah. Okay, that's kind of funny.
Huh. You even want this?
Then we've got some this way.
Delve into
Our
destiny.
Hilichurl's here,
Decided
eh?
by destiny.
Cry louder. Behold.
Stinker. My sweet burst didn't kill everyone because you were hiding.
Take it and have fun.
I see everything.
The wind rises.
Boy, that was a lot more treasure hunters than I thought there would be. Guy died to a Dendrocore that was just sitting there, wasn't even attacking him.
Unnecessary.
I can't go under while Monaing. Lame. Okay, there's more over here. Dispersed in the foggy forest path.
Everyone hold hands. I see everything.
Okay, I think that one. No, wait. There's 2 more that I see on the interactive map.
Squall and Fury.
There we go. Let's see how high we can get Furina with those. 63 out of the 77 that the map said there were.
The strength gained through my own hard work is truly fulfilling.
I'll check back to the
Thanks for
the
your
actual
support.
stream.
That's more like it. As expected, my dazzling side comes through in any situation.
There we go. It's 70. All right, now I gotta go steal somebody else's find somebody else whose flowers to steal and kill more hydrotopals. Topaz. Topaz number 1, easy peasy. Because I have plenty of resin. But as for the going into other people's worlds and stealing their flowers, I'll probably save that for another day. It's 11 o'clock, and I don't want to stay up till 2 a.m. again. 2 days in a row.
Grow! The Temple of Wisdom!
Alright, well, okay. Nahida. Dead.
I'm out of here! Come on out!
Let me scry. Fate is upon you.
I know I'm using Mona, which means it's immune, but
Wretched vermin! Behold!
let's see how well. Nope, not as good as the team as the other team.
Everyone hold hands!
He dodged.
Know your place.
I see everything! Make yourselves at home!
Squall and fury.
It's fine, we can Unga Bunga Skara.
Everyone hold hands!
The wind rises.
Skara and then claim the Battle Pass levels. Let's claim the achievements. Go put more coins in the Fountain of Lucine. Because we got the one more level.
And away I go!
To get more money, another Shrine of the Depth keys. And wasn't there a shrine way over there? Yep. Okay. Nope. Okay, yeah, keep getting distracted. Come over here and go roll up the hill to get unlock that shrine.
Can't touch me!
enjoying the funky world things, because we're just getting rewards for now. But that chest probably has a recipe in it, and I want it.
Quit following me.
You even want this?
A large shipping pallet. And then
Ooh, what's in here?
oh, Shrine of the
Maybe a growth
Depths.
serum?
Oh, what a successful stream. C6'd Furina with wishes to spare. Now we just have to actually come up with the, I have to actually come up with a good party to use and level up the artifacts and level up the talents. And level it all up. Get more flowers. Level. 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 Yes, beat them with that pipe. Let's go. Put her in the teapot. I don't have a good spot. I don't have a spot with load built though. Is the problem, because I only have one spot in this teapot that I built out.
This realm. If
Oh,
you
no, I don't
ever.
even talk to Tubby. I need to go in here and pick up one of you so I can invite another companion. You, go to sleep. Sorry. And then... it would be great to put her over here. But there's no load left. Unless that one wacky glitch lets you move characters. But... and that was a definite work in progress. You know what, I guess we... just put you over here with the cats. Actually, I kind of put down Charlotte too, but whatever. There we go. Double Furina power. Okay. Way to blink. No, wait, pressing them up. Pressing all the wrong buttons. This, that. Zoom. Alright. That's the end of it. Just about to hit 3.5 hours of live streaming. So I think I will call it there. Thank you, Vex, for watching. I hope you got to enjoy living vicariously through me with my polls.
Boring.
Okay, Furina.
More interesting to do?
Wow. Way to trash talk me as I'm trying to close the stream. I spent so many primos on you. But yeah, in there. Probably won't stream anything else in Genshin for a little bit. Need to do off-screen farming. I'm glad you loved it, Vex. Hope it inspired you to, well, probably inspired you to spend your money once you begin playing yourself. But hey, you know what? When you do start playing, fucking ping me so that I can watch you. Got it? Got it. Inspired you to gamble? Yeah, I know. We don't need that.
Tea parties
Okay,
are
you
a
will.
must for the
Are you
well-mannered.
sure you'll remember?
If you'd like to learn the proper etiquette, I'd be happy to teach you.
Alright, well, if you say so, then I guess I'll talk to you next time. I'll talk to you then, or probably just tomorrow. I'll probably talk to you tomorrow. But yeah. Have a good evening.